Salbon, are you creative visionary? Salbon, I see you. I see the presence of the living God. Danye. The presence of beauty. The presence of love. The presence of abundance. I see you. I see you. I see you. It's a good day. 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 Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. We're early today. It's good. I love being on time. So let's start with a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Sorry. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Drop the shoulders. Sit up straight. Please make sure that you are conscious, you are mindful. Is this working? It's not, it seems like it's not working the way I want it to work. Okay, here we go. Please make sure that you are conscious of your shoulders. Conscious, like just place two hands, your finger and your index on your shoulders and just push down. And just feel the stretch between here and here. Just feel it. Make sure that you sit up straight. Sitting up straight is beautiful for your posture. I used to practice Pilates. I practiced Pilates for a long time. Maybe 5-6 years. And I really loved, and bar. I used to practice bar at home. I used to buy these DVDs. Okay, chit chat time. These DVDs, Marshalls and Ross. That's where you find the good DVDs if you're in America. Marshalls and Ross. I think I still have the DVDs. But I used to practice bar and Pilates at home. Windsor Pilates. And it really helped with understanding posture. But even growing up, my dad never liked women who slouch. He was like, what's this? So I always had to be up straight. So it's really good for your posture. It's really good for your presence. It's really good for your self-esteem and showing up in the world like you know who you are. Like you know who you are. So as you take a deep breath in through the nose, sometimes your shoulders could be up here. Make sure that you just take your 2 fingers, put them on your shoulders, and as you exhale out, make it a conscious effort, mindful effort to push your shoulders gently down as you exhale. And every time you do that, you are rewiring your neurology and creating new neurosynaptic connections that empower you to know that you are here on planet Earth. You deserve to be here on planet Earth. You're not here by mistake. You're not an accident. Okay? You're not an accident. You're not here by mistake. You have a divine right to be here on planet Earth. And that divine right mandates you to show up on planet Earth with confidence. There's no glory in low self-esteem. There's no glory in this. It is your mandate by life to show up with self-esteem and self-worth. The breath is the perfect place to start this entrainment. So every morning, every hour, I invite you to be conscious, to take a breath and breathe out. Yes, conscious of breath in and breathe out. Good. So now I would love for you to continue to take a breath. And even if you're not breathing out with a sigh, I would love for you to just place your 2 fingers on your shoulders and be conscious of your shoulders dropping every time you take a breath. And I'm going to do a transmission for you. So let's take a deep breath in. If you would like, please close your eyes. I think that would be even better so that you can be conscious. If you'd like to even increase the power of what we are practicing now, please roll your eyes up. Roll them up to your 3rd eye, the center of wisdom here, the seat of wisdom, intuitive wisdom, because it comes from here. So roll your eyes up. Roll your eyes up while your eyes are closed and just start breathing. With your 2 fingers on your shoulders and gently let the breath out. Yes? And I will transmit. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha 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 tutare ture soham. Om tare 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 tutare ture soham. Good. Please continue to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth with a big sigh. Good. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Please open up your eyes. Good. Good morning. How are ya? How are ya? Good evening if you are in a part of the world where it is evening. Shall we read? Shall we read? Okay. Day 65. Spiritual light. The sacred brightness concealment. I have not diminished my light. Diminishing your spiritual light means hiding your connection to the divine, minimizing your spiritual gifts, or playing spiritually small to avoid standing out or being perceived as superior. You dim your sacred brightness by keeping spiritual insights private, avoiding spiritual leadership, or making yourself spiritually smaller to keep others comfortable. But your spiritual light is meant to illuminate the world, not to be hidden under spiritual false humility. My frequency wrote this. Brother Michael has profound mystical experiences and deep spiritual insights, but keeps them completely private. Because okay. It's a laughing day today. It's a laughing morning. Brother Michael has profound spiritual experiences and deep spiritual insights, but keeps them completely private because he doesn't want to seem special or holier than thou. He participates in spiritual communities as a student when he could serve as a teacher, hides his healing abilities to avoid attention, and consistently diminishes his spiritual understanding. His dimmed spiritual light deprives others of the wisdom and inspiration they desperately need. Diminishing your spiritual light creates a split between your actual spiritual connection and your expressed spiritual presence. Your nervous system knows you have access to more divine wisdom than you're sharing, creating internal tension between your true spiritual capacity and your performed spiritual ordinariness. This energetic contraction prevents authentic spiritual service from flowing. Embodiment practice. Feel into your spiritual connection as a radiant light in your heart center. Notice how bright this light naturally wants to shine. Sense where you contract or dim the spiritual radiance and say, my spiritual light illuminates the world. I share my divine connection without hiding or performing. We're going to have a conversation about this one. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a conversation. Okay, boys, let's go. Diminishing your spiritual light means hiding your connection to the divine, minimizing your spiritual gifts, or playing spiritually small to avoid standing out or being perceived as superior. Okay, where do we get this idea from? We get this idea from thousands of years of religious dogma. Okay. You dim your sacred brightness by keeping spiritual insights private, avoiding spiritual leadership. Some people should avoid spiritual leadership because some people should, okay? Because they don't know nothing. Honestly, they don't know nothing. They just need to sit down and meditate. Or by making yourself spiritually smaller to keep others comfortable. Okay? It's programming. It's thousands of years of religious dogma and programming of the priests know best, the pastor knows best, yet they are sleeping with children. They lie a lot. They steal a lot. They're into witchcraft. The monks know best when they don't. Not necessarily. Not all the time. And not all monks know the best way all the time. Or whatever rabbi or whatever religious dogma you have subscribed to. And if you're hearing this for the first time, maybe for the 10th time, and you're like, okay, girl, my pastor knows best, my prophet knows best. No, they don't. They don't live in your body. They don't know your nervous system. Yes, they might have been to theologian school, ministerial school. But sometimes I wonder what they teach these people at these schools. Truly, I wonder. I loved going to Creflo Dollar until I stopped loving going to Creflo Dollar. But I really enjoyed Creflo Dollar's messages. Why? Because he was a psychologist. He was a trained psychologist and left therapy in psychology, and became a minister. And he used to share the story. He was like, yeah, I'm a trained psychologist. But that it can be a little dangerous, no? Because he knows exactly the mind. He knows how to work that magic. The brain and the mind. But he used to, he had this huge ministry. Well, I think he still does. I don't know. Creflo Dollar Ministries and Taffy Dollar. I mean, you can't knock that. That huge ministry in Atlanta, Georgia. And when I was living in New York, Saturday nights, I used to go to Creflo Dollar at the Madison Square Garden. Like Pimp Daddy, okay? Madison Square Garden. He used to fill that arena, I swear to you, with all the New Yorkers, black people. But he used to share his story of how he became a minister. He understood the mind first. Okay. Let's go. So, yeah, I really did enjoy going. And one thing he used to say was, I don't need my congregation to support me because God knows how to support itself as me. No. He never used to say that. He used to say, I don't need my congregation to support me because I know how to come up with ideas to make money. And then when he started asking for private jets, that's when I was like, okay, this is kind of strange. You're contradicting yourself now. But I really enjoyed going to the church. It was a show until it became evident, okay? Not knocking it. You got to look at the hustle and be like, wow. That is a serious hustle. Okay. So let's go back. You dim your sacred brightness by keeping spiritual insights private, avoiding spiritual leadership, or making yourself spiritually smaller to keep others comfortable. But your spiritual light is meant to illuminate the world, not to be hidden under spiritual false humility. False humility. That's when you know that you know that you know you've had some spiritual experiences and that they are profound spiritual experiences, but you choose not to share with them because you're afraid that people are going to think you're crazy. How do you think I know this? I did it. It's amazing. The people that are leading people astray, those are the ones that are out full force. Those are the ones that are out full force. With their fake ministerial degrees and their fake prophecies and their witchcraft. It's like, this year, I sat with myself and I said, I don't know if it's spiritual low self-esteem or what it is. What is this, Tembi? Please just look at yourself in the mirror and just, is this spiritual low self-esteem? What is it? And when I started really going in depth with my own dysfunction around spiritual leadership, I realized this was just such a lot of trauma from many, many lifetimes and this lifetime too. You know, it's not, religious trauma is the most insidious and most challenging trauma to work through. Because your connection to divinity is your life force. You never lose that connection to divinity. You can't, because you are the presence of divinity itself. What you can do is dim that light. I was working on my own memory bank and working on my body. And I remember times when I was in South African churches where I knew what was going on. I think it was called prophecies. Prophecies. I could tell what would happen. I knew what would happen. I I remember at times I would get validation, and they're like, yeah. And I remember which people at church would validate, but the ones that were in their own dysfunction, spiritual and religious dysfunction, was so hard, especially on the children or the young people who had a gift. They were just so nasty and so mean. And I said, okay, they were in their own traumas. They were in their own wounds. It really had nothing to do with me. But I, as a young person, took it really personally. And I didn't understand how destructive these experiences were for a long time. Until this year, I just sat down with myself and I'm like, seriously, these people are dysfunctional. They're illiterates. And I took that on in my own spirit and held the dysfunction that I experienced growing up in churches to be gospel, to be truth. And now when I look back, I'm like, so it wasn't completely their fault. It was my also lack of understanding of God and my connection to divinity. And I had to work through that. I think working through religious trauma is the most challenging aspect of awakening. It is the most challenging aspect of awakening because that's where we hold a lot more pain. That's why I think people just like quit religion, and if they go into spirituality and it is just as dysfunctional, they give up on this idea of God and they become atheist or they become agnostic, which there's nothing really wrong with that. But when I really think about it myself, it's from a wound. It's from a wound. I had a friend who committed suicide, and he was in the Catholic Church, and he was abused in the Catholic Church by the priests. And he became agnostic. He was like, I really don't want anything to do with these church things. I don't care. I don't care about this stuff. And he was very promiscuous, very promiscuous. And I was like, I don't understand why the promiscuity. Why so much of this? Because he was essayed in the Catholic Church, okay? He hadn't worked through that. And so he went on his life, went about his life, just living his life. And when he hit a serious roadblock, like every person goes through that one experience in life where it's like your awakening moment. So it's either you get ill, you go through a divorce, a breakup, you lose your job, somebody dies in your family, something. It's like a life-changing event, which is your initiation, your beginning of your initiation into the true awakening of what you are as energy and what this earth plane is, a school to remember who you are and what you came to experience, learn, share, grow from, so that you can graduate, get your report card and graduate to the next grade, whatever that is. So he hit this life moment, life event, and because he had nothing to hold on to, there was no faith. There was no spiritual practice. There was no hope. He just lost all hope. I remember him just calling me, sending me text messages, writing me so many emails. And I kept just saying, dude, you need to go to Vipassana. I've been telling you about this thing for years, 10 years or plus. You gotta go to Vipassana. Vipassana meditation is where you need to go. It's therapy for the soul. It's a soul hospital because you want nothing to do with church. I get it. I'm not into church either myself. You want nothing to do with religion. I get it. You are kind of skeptical about spirituality. Totally get it. Vipassana meditation and Vipassana centers take you as you are. Right now, you are spiraling. You are going through your midlife crisis. You are spiraling. I can't help you. And therapy is not going to be able to help you because now you're on drugs. So you need to kind of detox for 2 days and check yourself into Vipassana meditation. Sit for 10 days. Let the pain come to the surface. Feel your own body. He didn't. Just committed suicide after that. Because he had nothing to hold on to. We are all going to experience, and if you're not already in the process of experiencing your midlife crisis or your life event or something, if you have nothing to hold on to, you lose all hope. You lose all hope. You become bitter. You become nasty. Yeah. You go on the drug and the alcohol binge. I'm laughing because honestly, it's not a big deal, right? You come back next lifetime and you're going to read this thing called life. It's not a big deal. You'll come back. And for the longest time, we have denied the divine feminine. And it always has been the woman's job, the woman's responsibility to teach. Women are teachers. My mother was the one who sat us down and used to teach. Yes, my dad used to teach a lot. 2 hours traffic to school, 2 hours traffic back home, 4 hours of teaching, leadership teaching, business teaching, money teaching, God teaching, mysticism teaching, philosophy teaching, quantum physics teaching. Oh my goodness, it was a lot. Every day, 5 days a week, 20 hours a week of my dad's teaching, and then a whole 2 hours with my mother. But mostly women have been the teachers. And we have denied the divine feminine and its embodiment and its teaching abilities because of this religious dogma. So when men are going through a spiritual crisis or a spiritual awakening, they don't know nothing. They don't know. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. And going through a spiritual crisis is no joke. It's no joke. No. You know, you can lose money. Okay, you can make money. You can kind of get sick and go to the hospital. Okay, that shakes you up a little bit. Okay, you can lose a relationship. You can then become promiscuous and have sex with random people and whatever. Get diseases and okay. You can take medication for that. Yo, a spiritual awakening, a spiritual crisis, that gets even the strongest ones. Oh yeah, that will get you. That midlife crisis, yo, that stuff is something else. That will get you. That will get you. I'm going to come back to the divine feminine. So, Brother Michael has profound mystical experiences and deep spiritual insights, but keeps them completely private because he doesn't want to seem special. Why should you not seem special if you're having your spiritual experiences? Who told you that you should be like humble are the meek? Humble are the meek, meek are the humble, or something like this. I don't know. I had to ask myself these questions. Where did I get this programming from? Because I know that I've been here many, many lifetimes. I know what's up. I'm a global shaman with solutions, like real ass solutions for humanity. So who told me that I must be like humble and meek for people to like me? This is fake. When I know what's up and I have the solutions for humanity. Okay, arrogance and narcissism, this is like stupidity. It's like ignorance at the highest levels of... But these are the people that usually have no solutions. They don't know what they're talking about most of the time. They just need to sit down, shut up, and go meditate. Honestly, But these are the people that are out in the front. So I had to have a conversation with myself. And I had to look at myself. I said, you got a spiritual low self-esteem. Spiritual low self-esteem. Okay. Seems special or holier than thou. He participates in spiritual communities as students when he should serve as a teacher, hides his healing abilities to avoid attention, and consistently diminishes his spiritual understanding. Okay, so Brother Michael here. I've met quite a lot of Brother Michaels. Honestly, I've met a lot of Brother Michaels. So Brother Michaels usually have a mother wound. Yes, they have a mother wound. And a lot of the spiritual narcissists have mother wounds because the mother, you come from the womb. Guys, please listen to me carefully, okay? You know, I love you long time. Truly, I love you long time, okay? You come from the womb. It is the mother that is the nurturer. If you have a mother wound and your mother was not spiritual and your mother was on her own path, we're not going to blame our parents here because honestly, blaming your parents does nothing for you. Honestly, it really does nothing for you. It just keeps you in a loop of victimhood. It does. It keeps you in a loop of victimhood. Okay. So if you have a mother wound, during a spiritual crisis, you might go to a man and they're going to say, toughen up. Hey, toughen up. Okay. A spiritual crisis plus a midlife crisis plus an identity crisis. Oh my God. That will knock you out, okay? That will knock you out. Every single man that I've worked with who has gone through a spiritual crisis and a midlife crisis, which sometimes eventually becomes a financial crisis and they just crash out, always come back. I tell them usually, I'm like, you're approaching an age where midlife crisis is approaching pretty soon. You're going to have a spiritual crisis and it will end up being a financial crisis and you'll lose the balance of your mind and you're going to crash out because everyone goes through it. It's not special to go through these things. You're not special. Man and woman, we all go through it. I just graduated from mine. You're not special. Nobody's special. To go through spiritual crisis, midlife crisis, no, you're not special. Okay, it depends sometimes on the degree in which it's happening and the awakening that you have signed up to embody in this life experience. Okay, but they always come to me and tell me about the spiritual crises and the mental health issues and the money problems, and they don't know what they're doing. And I say to myself and to them, where is your mother in this situation? Where is your mother? The mother was maybe busy working, didn't nurture the son growing up. So the son grows up with no spiritual foundation. Or these young boys were molested in these churches, in these synagogues, in these mosques, in these temples, and the mothers didn't know how to help their own sons through this abuse. So now they've left religion. Okay, religion is collapsing. Organized religion is collapsing. We can't sugarcoat this because there's been so much traumas in these organizations. Okay, so now they are spiritual, or they are not even spiritual. They're agnostic and atheists. Now, when these men are going through a midlife crisis and a spiritual awakening, nobody can explain it to them because I'm sorry, most men will just have toughen up, man. Dude, like toughen up. But the realms of the spirit are not toughen up, they are surrender. It's all surrender because honestly, you cannot hear the divinity with toughen up. Because toughen up is like, yes, grit, let me go forward. It's the solar plex. During a spiritual awakening, during a spiritual crisis, during a midlife crisis, yes, you need the masculine, toughen up, so that you can move through it. But you also need the divine feminine. This is when men now start with the promiscuity. They start with these things. They are everywhere. Because what they truly do not understand is that at that moment, the divine feminine is arising. So they think, no, I need to find a woman. I need to find a woman. No, brother. No. The divine feminine within you is arising and needs your attention so that you can participate in the full awakening of your soul essence. You can participate in it. If you have mother wounds, it becomes a real problem. You are going to go out here on them streets and find a woman based on your mother wounds that you have not healed. Yes, this is how these things work. And these women will show you some things. Truly, they will show you some things. Yesterday, I was talking to the woman and I said, you are going to find a man who will show you things. They will play tricks on your head and they will abuse you. They will abuse you. Today, I'm here to talk to the brothers. Yes. Hey guys, let me share something with you. When you're having a spiritual awakening and you're going through a midlife crisis and your money stuff is all over the place and your testosterone levels start dropping and you've got mental health issues and you haven't dealt with your mother never loved me wounds. Oh, wow. You will find a crazy who's 10 times representing the wounding that you haven't dealt with your mother. And that woman will terrorize you. No, she can't terrorize me. Oh, she will terrorize you. She'll put you in prison. I'm just saying. Okay. So the reason I started, okay, so let's continue. Okay. That's the humility. When you play spiritually small, you teach others that spiritual connection is something to minimize rather than celebrate. Okay. So the reason I started this live stream today with Grintara, Omtare tutare ture soham, Omtare tutare ture soham, Omtare tutare ture soham, Omtare tutare ture soham. The reason I started this live stream with this chant, transmission, is in Buddhism, they acknowledge the divine feminine. The monk that I ordained with in Kopangan here in Thailand had a statue of the divine feminine. It was Kuan Yin, Om Mani Padme Hum. They acknowledge Theravada Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism. Okay? They acknowledge the divine feminine. I'm not saying all monks and all Buddhist sects acknowledge the divine feminine, but they acknowledge the divine feminine because they fundamentally understand that they come from the womb. You come from the womb. You do not come from a stalk. You come from the womb. This is why men, when they're having their midlife crises and their spiritual awakenings, they constantly want to go back into the womb. It's like, I need to go back into the womb. That's why the promiscuity. That's why it's all over the place. It's midlife crisis. That's why they have 10,000 children with 10 wives. Okay, 10,000 children. They have 15 children with 8 women. And I'm just like, whoa, girl, why are you putting up with this? This man is just having a spiritual crisis. I'm sorry, but like he's having a spiritual crisis and he's going from one woman to the next woman to the next woman to the next woman because he's got mother never loved me wounds. And you are keep having children with this. Humanity. The nature of human. Okay. And then the guys will justify, look, I'm a Zulu woman. I come from these things of polygamy. Okay. My dad wasn't a polygamist, but my culture from the Zulu people is this polygamy. These women are always crying. I'm like, just leave these men alone there. They are children. They haven't dealt with their mother never left me wounds. And they are getting you to have all sorts of children with them because honestly, these men are going through a spiritual crisis. I was watching, this was a show, it's a South African show about the Zulu people. These men are married. They hit 40. All of a sudden, no, I want a second wife. What do you mean you want a second wife? My dad tried this nonsense. And my mother was like, oh, no, that's not going to work for me. That's not going to work for me. I had to have a conversation with my dad. I'm like, you can't even support us right now. Seriously? You can't. Do you think I got a beating for that? But I just spoke up. I said, seriously, you're not making enough money. You've been sick with TB for 2 years and you're on your 3rd year. All of a sudden you want to get a wife? Another one? Where are you going to put this another wife? It makes no sense. Yeah, it wasn't a very good week after that, but I had to speak up for myself. He was hitting midlife crisis. Yes, mother never loved me wounds. Now all of a sudden he wants to have another wife. I'm like, huh? It makes no sense. Because in Christianity, the divine feminine was hidden. The divine feminine was called a prostitute. This is why these men in Africa like to call women prostitutes. I will wear my red lipstick. Call me a prostitute and see what happens. Okay? So anyway, they called Mary Magdalene a prostitute, a whore. But yet you want to go back into the womb. It makes no sense to me. Truly, it makes no sense. I'm always perplexed about this. Because when you're having midlife crises, you want to go back into the womb, have 6 wives, 10 wives, all sorts of these things. In America too, they practice this stuff. All over the world. If they're not married, they have mistresses and concubines and all sorts of this ignorance. It's the mother wound. I'm not saying, okay, maybe, I don't know why women put up with this. I wouldn't. That's why I just married a white man. I said, I won't put up with this ignorance. No, because they're all crying there. They're all fighting over this man who is a child who just needs to go back into the womb because he's having a midlife crisis. Okay, so the reason I was sharing with you about Buddhism, not that Buddhism is right, not that Hinduism is right or better, not that Islam is right or better. None of these organized religions are above any. It's just a way for us to understand divinity so that we can embody our own divinity. This is what the great teachers came to teach us here on planet Earth. Okay? So, the Buddhists acknowledge the divine feminine. My rock star is Thy Holiness, the Dalai Lama. That man is a rock star. You know, his skin is so soft. Oh my goodness. He's so handsome. He's so gorgeous. He's so delicious. Truly, he is delicious. What an incredible embodiment of divinity. At his temple, homeboy has a palace, okay? Like, Thy Holiness is truly a rock star. He lives in a palace with his bodyguards, okay? On top of that, at his temple, he has a space specifically dedicated to the divine feminine. Green Tara. And her chant, Om Tare, Tutare, Ture Soham, is chanted by the monks. The monks even make art. They were making mandalas when I was in India last year, making beautiful art. They keep the sacred temple space for the divine goddess, for the divine feminine. So beautiful. I said, this man, Thy Holiness, the Dalai Lama, he knows what's up. Because honestly, guys, You cannot fully embody your full divinity, your full spiritual authority without you tapping in to the divine feminine within yourself, not in a vagina. It has nothing to do with this. You're going to find a really crazy woman who is going to terrorize you. They'll terrorize. Oh, they will show you things. They will show you things. I'm just saying. So every time I have worked with men, and this is why I really love working with men, because I saw the pain my dad went through. He was in hell. I didn't know that it was midlife crisis. I had no idea. I was too young, like 10 years old at that time. I was like, this is so strange. 11, 12 years old. I was like, I don't understand what's going on with this man. He was so lovely. My dad was such a kind, wonderful man. He hit this midlife crisis issue. I said, what happened to this man? He was never abusive before this stage. And then it was only when I was 36 years old and I was had worked with a lot of men. And I was like, it's the midlife crisis. That's when I decided to go back home to South Africa and start having conversations with my dad about this. And I was like, Baba, you were actually going through a midlife crisis. You were having a spiritual awakening. He was like, yes, but I couldn't explain it. You know, Tembi, I couldn't explain it. And I had stress and all sorts of these things. I said, right, Baba, this is what was happening. Yes. So for me, when I've worked with men, which is my love, I remind them and initiate them to get back into the divine feminine within themselves. Work on your mother who never loved me wounds. I am not your mother. I am not your girlfriend. I'm not your mistress or your concubine. I have nothing to do. My boobs and my vagina have nothing to do with you. I am a married woman. Okay? However, we're going to work on your mother never loved me wounds. Because if you don't work on these mother never loved me wounds, you're going to find a crazy woman who might end up killing you. Who might put you in prison for lack of child support, she'll take everything for you during a divorce proceeding. Because you haven't worked on your mother never loved me wounds. So you're going to attract a woman at the same level of wounding that you haven't worked through. Number one, that is the first thing we start working on, mother never loved me wound. Number two, initiation into your own divine feminine. You have left, right, feminine, masculine. If you don't work on these parts, you, as a man, you are very masculine. That's why I always go and work with men, because they kind of help me with my masculine, because sometimes I just want to be a fairy. And I'm just like, oh my God, I just want to be a fairy. And I really become ditzy. Then I remember the lessons my dad taught me. Hey, come on. You're not this. Be strong. Okay. And then I remember to be strong. Okay. But sometimes as guys, if you didn't have a loving, and your mother loved you the best way your mother could, who knows what hell she was living through. Okay. But if you feel at a certain time frame in your life, growing up in your childhood, you didn't get the nourishment, the love, the care, the spiritual upliftment, the spiritual initiation that you needed, it becomes challenging when you're going through a midlife crisis. 35 to about 45, they're 50. These things become quite something. I just lived through mine. It was hell on earth. It was hell. It was quite something. But if there is some wounding there, mother wound, and you're just pushing through with the masculine, yo, bro, let's do it. Come on, toughen up. That midlife crisis stage is going to get you. I don't care how wealthy you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care if you graduated summa cum laude from Harvard, because they still used to come to me. Okay? Cum laude from Harvard, summa cum laude from Wharton, from Columbia. These things don't matter. They're just little decorations. When the soul starts saying, hey, I need you to listen to me. I don't care how many billions you have. I dated a billionaire. He couldn't sleep. And it wasn't because he was doing bad things. He had mining companies. It was the divorces and the worried about his money. I said, oh my goodness. And then he wanted to marry me. And I said, oh my God, no. No, I want to go make my own billions. I want to go learn how to make my own billions. I'm sorry, not sorry. I'm sorry. I don't care about your big ass ring. I don't care about the big, beautiful wife. And no. I'm sorry, not sorry. Gotta go. And then I landed in America. Yeah. It doesn't matter how many billions you have or don't have. It doesn't matter how many summa cum laudes you have or don't have. They've all come. I've worked with all of them. It is the mother wound. And if you don't know how to surrender, because it's emoting and going to war. Emoting and going to war. You, like, if a man is always going to war, okay. I've heard and watched a lot of successful men, I guess, on YouTube who are talking about the emoting and going to war, the training of emoting and going. But I'm sorry, not sorry. It's not a woman that you need. It is surrender to the divine feminine within you. For me, that's Buddha consciousness. Buddha consciousness makes me sit up straight and meditate even when I don't want to meditate. Christ consciousness says, hey girl, you gotta keep walking. You gotta do your thing. Keep walking. Yeshua kept walking. This is why I just kept walking all the way to India. Just keep walking country to country, because this is what the story of Yeshua consciousness, Christ consciousness. Shiva is like, girl, you gotta be equanimous during this collapse. You can't lose your mind during this collapse. Shiva just sits there with a snake on his neck and his abs, and I'm just like, oh, Shiva consciousness, come on, Daddy, give it to me. It's teaching me, initiating within me my consciousness, how to sit and not lose my mind during collapse and still know that I am the presence of divinity. So as a woman, look to ascended masters, masculine version, so do you guys must look to the divine feminine, ascended masters of the divine feminine. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself in some serious problems, because you come out of the womb and the wounds that you have not worked through, oh, wow. You will go and find them in a woman, and they will. But because we like to abuse each other, because at these levels of frequency where there's wounding, we abuse each other. Truly we do. We are abusive to each other because we're still very young in our consciousness. And I think most of us don't speak of this in this manner. So you'll see a lot of like pastors, they always need to have a wife, and the pastor is the show, and the wife is sitting there. And she's running women's meetings. No? How about you have your own church, girl? Yeah, why not? Okay, maybe you weren't called to ministry, but sometimes I've noticed that it's actually the woman who's powerful. It's actually the woman who's giving the man tips on how to speak, tips on how to dress, tips on the message. I'm not saying there are men that are not spiritually connected. There's a lot of men who are spiritually connected. A lot. You can tell that, no, this man, he's downloading some truth here. It's clean. It's clean codes. But sometimes I've met men especially in religious dogma, these men know nothing. Honestly, they know nothing. It's the woman who's sitting there just giving the man. I'm like, why? Why would I want to give you my spiritual insights? It makes no sense. So that you can get the glory because you are who? And why? Who put you in that position? I'm sorry, not sorry. My spiritual insights are from my many lifetimes of being killed, of being stoned, of being raped. And I must give it to you for free because you are who? You have a penis? No, thank you. It doesn't work like that. You walk your own spiritual path. You die a few times and you come back and you do this thing and you go to therapy and sit there and cry and do your own spiritual work. Are you mad? This is why I only work with highly intelligent men, emotionally evolved men, because honestly, I'm not here to be anybody's wife, spiritual wife. It makes no sense. Why do you not want to do your own spiritual work? You want to bypass this thing called life and I'm just a pastor, I'm a mystic. You're fake. Shut the fuck up. Okay, so I'm on a rant. This is why I like the Dalai Lama, Their Holiness the Dalai Lama. And there's a lot of these young ones. There's a lot of young ones on them YouTubes. I'm like, these children are woke. These are the ancestors. These children are woke. They're woke. These children are onto something. Like, we have to really listen to these young ones. Okay, some of them are channeling things. I'm just like, okay. But honestly, these young children, these Gen Zs and the very young ones. I have one of my sisters, Jen Mitchell. I used to go to her home on Tuesdays and just listen to her grandchildren. Her grandchildren were just like on a level of conversation, which I'm like, how do you know quantum physics? You are 10 years old. How do you know this stuff? And they're like, yeah, I just know. I just know. I'm like, these children are onto something. We need to kind of like listen to these children, these young people, these children. I call them children because I'm 44. But no, these young people know a lot. They're onto something. They know a lot about a lot, especially about spirituality. I think, honestly, these young ones of course, they are our ancestors. They've died and they've come back. I really respect the young ones, except the vile ones who have no respect. But I really respect these young ones. They're onto something. They know a lot about a lot. But the mother wound one, you gotta work on your mother wounds, guys. Honestly, you really gotta work on your mother wounds. You don't actually have a choice on this one. You don't. You're going to find a crazy woman who's going to run circles around you. You are. You complain about these women and dating and stuff like this. It's mother wound. And everyone is struggling with the mother wound. Because for the longest time in our history of humanity, we have denied the divine feminine. It has always been the masculine as the teacher of godly things. I'm like, I'm sorry, but you come out of my womb and onto my breast. I carry life. So this is the lack of balance. You're not going to find this, guys, in a woman. You're not even going to find it in a woman who's woke. You're not. Because honestly, a woman who has done her own spiritual work, who has done her own therapy, emotional healing, and is constantly on the path, she doesn't have time to mother you. I don't have time to mother my husband. I just leave him there. I'm like, this is your life. If you want to die like this, okay, die like this. You can come back. It has nothing to do with me. It's not my problem. I love you because we're married and I tolerate this. But honestly, your spiritual path and your spiritual awakening has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me because I tried to change him for many years and I realized I'm wasting my time. Let me just focus on myself. Okay? Focus on myself. So honestly, for the guys that are having spiritual awakenings, spiritual crises, midlife crises, you're not going to find what you're looking for in a woman. You're not. Not even your wife can give it to you. Not even your mother. It's not your mother's job. You, as a man, truly, if you're a visionary, you are going to acknowledge, okay, I got some mother wounds here. Because honestly, everybody has mother wounds. Because we've denied the divine feminine for so long. So we all have mother wounds. Even our mothers have mother wounds. Even our grandmothers had mother wounds. So we're going to acknowledge, number one, I got to work on my mother wounds here. Meaning, I've got to learn how to accept the divine feminine within myself. I've got to initiate that within my own being. I've got to learn how to surrender to the still small voice. I've got to learn, but you don't need to learn because you're already warriors anyway. You're already out there fighting. But it's like I've got to learn how to surrender to that still small voice within me that is speaking wisdom, that is initiating me into a higher level of my own understanding as a spiritual being, having a spiritual experience in a human body. That's truly what we're here to model for each other. When I look at really spiritually attuned, emotionally balanced, successful men, I'm like, these men usually have a level of understanding of the divine feminine. They really do have an understanding of the divine feminine within their own being, not as I've slept with 10,000 women, I have a wife. It has even nothing to do with their wives. Their wives are busy living their own lives, doing their own thing. And they support their wives to do their own thing, or their girlfriends, or their boo things, or their bae things, to do their own thing. Because that's a secure man. That is a man who is self-contained. And these are the kinds of men that I truly honor on planet Earth. We need more of these kinds of men. Honestly, we do. The children need to see that as leadership. A man who knows how to be gentle and kind and loving, and a man who knows how to take a gun and a machete and go out and go to war when it's time to go to war. Because I grew up with a dad like that until he had a midlife crisis and he went, doops. Okay, let's go. Diminishing your spiritual light creates a split between your actual spiritual connection and your expressed spiritual presence. Your nervous system knows you have access to more divine wisdom than you're sharing, creating internal tension between your true spiritual capacity and your performed spiritual ordinariness. This energetic contraction prevents authentic spiritual service from flowing. Embodied practice. Feel into your spiritual connection as a radiant light in your heart center. Guys, it's not weak to feel into your heart. It's not weak to cry. If somebody told you that it's weak to cry, you better get that thought out of your mind, of your brain. You have emotions for a reason. Negative and positive. And they are all meant to be used. Notice how bright this light naturally wants to shine. Sense where you contract or dim the spiritual radiance. Sense where you contract or dim the spiritual radiance. You are the presence of divinity. You are the presence of love. You are the face of divinity. The stars don't negotiate their radiance and how bright they shine at night. They don't. As human beings, we are so interesting. Like a lion does not negotiate its roar. It does not. It just knows I am. And it roars. An elephant does not negotiate its power. It is the wounding that we have lived through over centuries, hundreds and hundreds, thousands of years. And it's in our DNA, in our electromagnetic field, and the many lifetimes that we have survived and thrived through, and some just had horrible experiences in. It doesn't make you broken. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less than. It doesn't. And when you see a woman who is embodied in her own spiritual practice, it's not for you to marry them. It's not for you to now want to own them and control them. No, it's for you to go, wow, that is just amazing. My sister, please teach me how to connect to the divine feminine within my own being. I'll teach you how to connect to the divine masculine. Because a lot of women don't know. But honestly, in the truth of truth, the only connections you should really be having is connections with the ascended masters. Because they lived this earth thing and they mastered it. But we can still help each other on a level here on planet Earth. But y'all guys, mother wounds, you come out of the womb. Mother wounds. Midlife crisis and mother wounds. Okay, notice how bright this light naturally wants to shine. Okay, sense where you contract or dim the spiritual radiance. And then say to yourself, my spiritual light illuminates the world. The stars do not negotiate how bright they should shine. They don't. I share my divine connection without hiding or performing. Just be you. Just be authentic. Just be you. Some people won't like it. Okay, who cares? Out. And some people will like you. And that's totally okay. That's your tribe. And in the meantime, love yourself. In the meantime, make friends with the ascended masters so that when you show up in environments, you're not showing up lacking, begging, beseeching. It's so unattractive. It's like, oh my God, no. I won't tolerate people like this ever again. No. Because then you start mirroring this low self-esteem ignorance, and your self-esteem just, no, thank you. I know who I am. Face of divinity. And I am here to activate hope in your body temple. No, to help you activate hope in your own body temple. There's nothing wrong with going through a midlife crisis. It's just an initiation into the next phase of your journey here on planet Earth. There's nothing wrong with your sexual escapades. Just recognize what they were. Even for the woman. Just recognize what they were. Okay? You were learning something. And brothers, your mother wounds you got to work on. Woman, you got to work on your daddy never loved me wounds. Because if you don't work on these things, oh wow, you're going to find a crazy one who's going to knock you out. This is how these things work. I tend to be kind of light about them and laugh about them. When you are going through abuse, it's not very fun. Honestly, it's not really fun because I've lived this hell. But on the other side, you're like, wow, that was quite something. That was quite something. Won't do that again. I have a habit of sitting cross-legged, and an hour and a half is a bit maybe too long. So yeah, thank you for listening. If that was kind of like whoa, girl, whoa, but it's truth. Let's just have some truthful conversations. Let's not be like our parents who used to hide talking about sex, who used to try to be holier than thou. They didn't know better. You know, they were doing the best they could. And people are still into these things about holier than thou. And I'm like, okay. Just be yourself. Just be authentic. God loves itself so much. It created you. Not the narcissism, not the fake self-esteem. Just be yourself. Learn how to be yourself. Learn to love the self that God loves so much that it created you. Just learn to be yourself. Okay? Because honestly, this collapse is it's beautiful. It's an initiation for the whole world. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful to watch. Now that I'm on the other side, I'm just like, whoa, this is so beautiful. You need to have spiritual practice or some kind of spiritual practice or something that you're going to hold on to. You cannot be holding on to anybody. Nobody's going to drag you along on this one. You're on your own. Honestly, you're on your own. Because even if you go to church, even if you go to your mosques and your synagogues and your temples at night, when the real troubles start, you are on your own. Yes, you are on your own. So spiritual practice is going to be very important. So what are we going to do today? Speak. I am listening. Forgiveness work. Yeah. Ahonoponopono. Why are we going to do forgiveness work? We are going to forgive ourselves. Don't forgive organized religion. Don't forgive anybody who taught you anything that you now think, oh, this was bad about God. Okay? This was a misunderstanding about divinity. Don't forgive them. It has nothing to do with you. Forgive yourself for forgetting whose you are, number one, and whom you are, number two. You are the face of divinity. You belong to love. From love you come, and in love you remain. So forgiving thyself is the highest level of forgiveness. Because now you're not forgiving some God out there. You're forgiving yourself for forgetting that you are the face of divinity. How about that? How about that? I forgive myself that I am the face, that I forgot that I am the face of divinity. And I got involved in so much ignorance. And now this Zulu woman, she's telling me that I'm the face of God. Huh? That's some real crazy stuff. Yes, you are the face of divinity. God loved itself so much that it created you. But I don't believe in God. Okay. The universe loved itself so much that it created you. And said, breathe, live, be. So how about we forgive ourselves? Okay. So we're going to do a Ho'oponopono. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry to myself, to my soul, to my higher self, to my inner child, that I forgot who I am. Please forgive me, my inner child. Please forgive me, my higher self. Please forgive me, my heart, for forgetting how powerful I am, how beautiful I am, how abundant I am, how creative I am. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I love you. I love myself. I love you, my inner child, that kept my innocence, that remembered the pain and my innocence, and my magnificence, and my radiance, and my creative expression. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Thank you to myself for enduring all of the traumas, the trials, the tribulations, and the victories along the way. I'm so thankful to myself that I've been through a lot and I'm still smiling. This is what you say to yourself about yourself. Because we were never taught this. We were taught to forgive other people. Stop forgiving people. Forgive yourself. You are just as important. You are actually more important. Because if you don't forgive yourself, there's no way you can actually forgive anyone else. Because how? You can't even offer yourself forgiveness. You can't even offer yourself love and gratitude to yourself. And you expect me to forgive somebody else? No, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. But, common sense is not common nowadays. Spiritual practice. Okay, so my loves, Tanrasami, you're my loves. What we're going to do is take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath in. How was that? And if you're thinking, wow, this woman is quite something. I know. I know. I love you anyway. Okay, so let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Remember, shoulders down. Out through the mouth. Another deep breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Just continue breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I'm going to transmit. And then we can say the chant. I am sorry, please forgive me. I love me, thank you. I am sorry, please forgive me. I love me, thank you. I am sorry, please forgive me. I love me, thank you. I am sorry, please forgive me. I love me, thank you. Oh, 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 I am sorry, please forgive me. I love me, thank you. I am sorry, please forgive me. I love me, thank you. I am sorry, please forgive me. I love me, thank you. I am sorry, please forgive me. I love me, thank you. Oh, 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 Please repeat after me. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love me. Thank you. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Release with a big sigh. Please open up your eyes. Smile a bit. Actually, smile a lot. Show your teeth. Your beautiful teeth, your beautiful face. You are the face of divinity. You are the face of love. You are the presence of creative expression. Your breath is holy. Your breath is abundant. Life, this idea called God, this intelligence that is the universe, created you so that you could experience the abundance of the good that it is through and as you. Life needs you to wake up to the beauty of who you are, the creative expression, the love, the wholeness, the peace that you are. You are the face of love. You are the face of beauty. You are it. You are it. Forgive yourself. It is your mandate to love yourself. And know that you're doing the best you can, but just keep moving. Evolutionary compassion. Evolve. Evolve. I believe in you. I know you can do this. I'm wearing red lipstick today. I tried it out. I've got so many shades. Well, I lie. I got 3 shades of red lipstick. I'm going to try it out since I got a beautiful couch. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me share. In the comments below, please share what you have learned. What am I doing? In the comments below, please share what you have learned. Please like, subscribe, invite your friends. Invite your peeps. I think they want to know about this, don't you think? Can you imagine knowing all this about yourself? Why would you have low self-esteem? It doesn't make sense. It's when you don't know who you are that you have low self-esteem. Stop with this ignorance. You are beauty. You are love. You are abundance unfolding. You are greatness. Okay, I love you. Love you long time. Love you long time. Love you long time. I gotta go live my life today. I don't know what I'm doing today, but I gotta live my life. Bye. See you tomorrow. Have a great day. Sleep day. Whatever you're doing. We're going to I've been practicing twerking. Big Friedia. Oh, my thighs after I practiced Big Friedia's twerking. I was like, damn, man.